Oh, thank you so much for being here. This is the Unpopular Counselor, and how great it is to be sharing not only my screen with you, but all of the things that I will be doing today, such as providing heals, which I'm going to get into right now. In addition, I am also going to provide life coaching, whether that is through the chat or through the general chat that appears here below. So I appreciate you for being here. And this is to that. It seems like a dream, much of which I thank God for this moment, as I never anticipated coming back to this game with a master's in counselor education. However, coming back and providing not only heals, but offering life coaching on the side is something in which I'm grateful to share in the first place. This was something that I was doing a long time ago when I realized playing this game very early on in 2008, how at times in which it served as a distraction and an outlet for some times in life where things didn't always seem to be going in my favor. Fortunately, after 9 years of college and publishing a book on mental health and using my own life as an example, I am fortunate to come back and provide the sort of assistance to others that I can only hope to provide in the first place to make as much of a difference for everyone across the board. So let's do this.
Would you like to purchase something? Very good.
I'll try not to spin around like that too much so it doesn't seem so much like the screen is spinning. It's just my luck, but it's all good. No sweat. Okay. So you just watched me heal a dungeon, and the cool part about that is I've done this on a few occasions, but to actually record it and be live is surely that of a blessing. So I appreciate you for being here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a place that I have been to on multiple occasions in hopes of finding a mount, which is what I am writing right now. There's a chance it may not be there. I would be lying if I said I wasn't trying to capture this thing since Cataclysm came out. It doesn't always spawn when I'm around, although I've spent more hours than I would ever want to admit, in hopes of finding this mount flying around, as I have seen others with it as well. And it's not to say that's why I came back to playing Warcraft, but it just so happened to be, as I am in the area, that it wouldn't hurt for me to stick around. So then there is a chance in which if it did spawn, I may be around to seize the moment. And so for the sake of your eyes, I'm just going to stay right here. And if it spawns, I know because from previous research, it flies around this building. So for the time being, I'm just going to run some dungeons. While waiting, I'm going to share with you some things in which I wanted to share last night at the We Who Wrestle with God Jordan Peterson tour. One of which is the value that comes from denomination and how that influences our foundation. If we break the day down in the form of fractions, what we will realize is everything that we're doing is within the numerator. So then you may wonder, what's the denominator out of that equation? And that is us, the individual. We carry influence within the day, believe it or not. In each of those areas, let's say running errands, would rank amongst the numerator. And what's important about that is to acknowledge the fact that because denomination can carry some form of positive influence in the foundation of our daily lives, it is only fair for us to be conscious of that and capitalize on the fact of how beautiful life can be when gratitude is the attitude for everything moving forward.
Oh, don't you worry. We'll find a way to stop them. You only delay the inevitable. Mirthful shall rise. Exhilarating. Quality materials.
I always like to keep a renew on people in the start of every dungeon, raid, battleground.
You will not get past me. Reel from the swords of high. Merciful. Cast your rise. Now to open the timeways. The timeways are all misaligned. The infinites have done well covering their tracks. It's too far away. This will take us some time. Champions, we must destroy any anomalies that appear. We cannot have them further twisting the timeways. When do you think the infinites went to, Nostormo? Must be far in the past then. They risked the battle and all of time as we know it. Indeed. But they will stop at nothing to ensure the rise of my darkness itself. All will resound. shall be protected. Sands of time, I call. Yes. You must strike the infinite dawn. The pathway is open. You shall not interfere with our infinite calm.
Bringing out the old school.
I have tracked the influence to a place, a moment where I dare not tread.
You're not coming with us?
I shall be with you in a sense, but not as you know me now. I have faith in you, my friends. Though even children is unwise, know that all is not lost.
That corpse above us. It's Gallagher. We must have just be careful. We've gone back. He was the biggest proto dragon ever. Guess we have to find the proto aspect. There's nothing to do. That slime is full of necromantic power. Looks like we need to blow this up.
Let's start the chase.
Face enemies above and below. So we're trapped.
I'd hardly say that.
Nostormo! Alexstrasza! Everyone! The Infinites are here, and we have to stop them! They wanna... Oh, there's no time to explain. Please, you must trust me. The future of Dragonkind depends on it.
You are a little dragon, but there is something kind about you. friends. With me!
If the Red came here with the Infinites, then they must be working together. Oh, that's bad. Really bad. Can you scout ahead? I'll be with you in a moment.
For the future of Azeroth.
So, the Titan's puppets have come to face me.
He's siphoning Galactron's essence into a vessel? It looks kind of like the dragon soul. Even more ancient.
A hunger lost to the ages. I shall show you to the Titans.
I shall destroy you. Show me the Titans. Not destroy. Is gone. Only resolve remains.
No, I won't give up on you. When are we? No. This can't be right. The Infinites changed the true timeline. This can't be happening. If Murazon exists, that means Nostormo. No. We can fix this. We have to get back to the time ways.
This may not be of the prettiest environment, but this is where I would have to be in order to have a chance of getting that dragon. But you know what I'm going to do? Since this is our first stream, I'm going to take you back to a time even further before this expansion pack. So we're going to get into that now. I'm not sure if that's the ship that used to take you to Northerend, but we will. I think it's this one that takes you there. I'm going to bring you to some of the most beautiful sights I seen when I was going throughout these areas. And the amount of tranquility I received just through the sights that I was fortunate to come across along the way. Although I've played this game on and off for years, it is a blessing to come back here and serve the purposes in which I serve Warcraft today. My main character initially was a rogue. And what do you know? My memory has done me well, enough to remember all of this. Where I'm at right now relates to the Wrath of the Lich King expansion pack over 10 years ago. One of the beautiful things about this game is the soundtracks. Low key, I'm just looking for a repair.
What's on your mind?
The little coin that you see in the top left corner is a symbol of that being junk. It wasn't always of that way, but thankfully WoW updated that. That wand was of no use because I'm using a two-handed staff. Although that mastery looks nice, the intellect is my main stat. Depending on the class that you are, back then it used to be intellect and then spirit. Spirit was the attribute which assisted healing the most, but they consolidated some of that into this just being intellect, which is still important.
Watch your back.
Eventually, I'm going to switch mounts, as this one, as you see, there is a meter in which it will only go based on what's available. However, the previous mounts can stay in the sky for however long your graphics card can run, as I have burnt out multiple graphics cards in the past, which is why I spent $600 on a graphics card to ensure I could actually have this chance to stream and provide content to you. I'm going up to Storm Peaks where Ice Crown is. What they do is when you fly out of what would maybe be considered into a restricted area, that fatigue meter appears. I forgot all about that until I was just going over here. Because some areas you can just keep going. But the graphics are just so incredible. Everything about the game is just, it ages like wine. Just looking out by the water is always such a beautiful thing. If there's a specific area that you guys are interested in me visiting in Warcraft, always feel free to let me know. As you can tell, it's a lower level because this is from 10 years ago plus one of the best expansion packs that Warcraft ever had. And you'll see why. All these areas I'm just discovering with this character as I made the decision to upgrade to level 70 rather than start it all over again as I played as a priest in the past. It's just coming back now, despite them erasing all of the characters. I was fortunate that they managed to keep the achievements, and because of that, I was able to become a WoW guide after leveling my rogue, which once was Crazy Joe, is now called Plaid, as there is value to reading between the vertical and horizontal lines of what it is going on around us and the influence we have as a result. Goes back to what I was talking about and start of the stream relating to the things in which we're doing in the day being the numerator and us accomplishing or at least attempting to do some of those things is the denominator, as we carry much influence in certain parts of how we live our lives. This is something that I loved over here so much about all of this. It's just these skies and just the space in which is provided in this game to fly in areas where not many, if any, are around, and the beauty that comes from all of this. And you just look out and appreciate everything around you. It's a reminder of in moments that you can't appreciate the weather outside. It's like Warcraft has the graphics to provide some form of a replacement for that time. Doesn't mean it's permanent, but for temporary measures, it's something that I'm grateful I considered along the way. And what I'm also open to doing as well is listing out all of the mounts that I have, and then whatever ones you guys want me to ride for that day is fine with me. I don't want to be clicking here all day, but there are some nice ones here. Classic. As you can tell, there's no meter, so in a sense, they can literally just stay in the sky, and you could just appreciate everything around you. I'm going to go into a dungeon soon, but I figured I'd just show you some pretty cool areas that I'm fortunate to remember, and the views in which they provided me, and how much benefit they may be of to provide to you as a result. For the sake of time, I am going to get us over to Winter Grasp and just how peaceful all of that is. You'll see what I mean when I get there. Okay. Now, I may get into some PvP over here, but I doubt it, as this is a pretty chill area. But it used to be really fun. So right now there's a game going on. If I attempt to get through the walls that are set in place, it'll take me all day. But the music is just, it's so nice. And you get into parts like that where some combat could be on the way. I used to be around here all the time when I played as a rogue. That was one of the things I enjoyed so much about being a rogue, was it's like I kept to myself like a rogue in stealth. But when it's not in battle, it's a pretty chill place. So the way that this works is everyone out here has to get through there. What I'll do, just for good old time's sakes, although I haven't run it with this character as I wanted to gear up more, but since this is the first stream, it is fair for me to jazz it up a little bit here, as I have done quite a few battlegrounds in the past. So while I could go provide heals for a dungeon, what I'm going to do is we're going to see how this random battleground is going to go. I know I will be one of the biggest targets out there, but that's all right, because the best thing you can do is try and go from there. That's why that area is so nice. It's because that's the North Sea that we were over before looking out. Sometimes if you fly too high, they will chop you down. I think this is Dalaran, which is kind of like the main city for Northrend. It's been years since I've been here. Yeah. Wow. Tell me that's not peaceful. That is the bank. That used to be for herbalism. When I was playing back then, which I believe I still have herbalism and skinning for my rogue. That character's name is Plaid, which I haven't played for in a while, but I picked that name because it's all about, and I think I already mentioned this in the stream, and if I did, I apologize in advance, but if not, I'm grateful I'm saying it now again. And that is, how do we read between the vertical and horizontal lines of what it is going on around us and the influence that we have on that as well. So I'm pretty sure I shared on that already, but another area that I don't think I shared with you yet, and that is for anybody interested in learning how to integrate church in their life somehow, some way. And best way to line that out is to attend an online mass, learn more about the scripture that follows that so that it's easier to follow along. And as your competency for what to expect with the church progresses, as a result, your confidence of what to expect within that area increases. That's why competence is important for humanity across the board. We will make more progress when we are on the same page rather than permitting miscommunication to unfortunately deter us from the things in which have to get done that day, which make up the adventure we call life. And as Jordan Peterson was talking about last night, it's the value of having accountability for ourselves and being responsible when it comes to that pursuit of adventure. Without responsibility, an adventure just seems to be lost, as there is no intended direction in some form of positive manner. An example of this is my friend wanted to go to the beach. I have the option. I either go to the beach with them or I don't. But if I decide to go to the beach with them, I have to be mindful of the time in which that is going to take, along with the energy expected to be consumed in the process. However, it doesn't mean that that's not worth doing because of what seems like finite resources being costly throughout that day. But really what it is, it's just adding another notch for a memory worth reminiscing later. So let's get to this battleground. I would be lying if I said I wasn't the biggest fan of this battleground, but we will make do because that is what it's all about. So out of all of this, I am the only healer here. So I have to decide which base or which cart technically I'm going to be with that leads to the destination where, as you see above, whoever gets to 1,500 points first wins. And the cart has to be guided along the pathway, which you'll see here. And whoever controls it upon the time in which it gets there, they will receive points. So when people say not to fight in mid, that means to fight in an area where these carts are not located. It's been a while since I've done this, but I'm glad that I'm able to actually do this. And one of the things that I should have done before starting this, but I was showing how this operates, is what's on their side. So back then, we used to be able to see who was playing on each end. And the reason why I'm sticking around by the cart is because we need points. And I need to make sure that we stay on base so then we get those points. So you see 3 alliance members here. The way in which they would overtake this is through having, let's say, 4 people be here. So as you see up here, you see the carts. Right now, the Horde have 1. Alliance now have 1. They just capped. This one we're about to cap. So we just capped on that one. Now we're going back. Usually I like to see who's on the other side in terms of heals, DPS, if there's anybody that's going to be stealth. Especially as a rogue, I know that very well. Back then, where this Dragon Isle summary option is, used to be the option to see what's going on over there. I'm not sure. There you go. something to keep in mind whenever I'm putting this together is if I'm doing PvP, I gotta put this over, or even if I'm doing some form of large raid. But usually in the raid, all these are out. But what I'm looking for right now is to see who is on the Horde side so I can get a better understanding of who our opponents are. And why does that matter? Because it's important to be aware of what it is that you're going up against in life. While it may sound silly saying that with this, so these are little PvP talent slots, which normally I haven't touched them since playing this game, as this is my first battleground with Shepard. Although I've gotten some gear along the way, I wanted to have more, at least to the point where that's 1,000k, and just absolutely crush when it comes to heals. Come on, really? That helped. I'm glad I pulled them up. That was important. Now I'm going to flee these guys. Just use those to get out. Okay. Yeah, that happens. You know, you just got to keep going. That's all. Can't let it bog you down. Well, this is a close one. There's a chance we may lose this. But it is what it is. That's kind of like the thing about some of this game. Like, basically the game is over now. Because we would have to cap on that one. And they're very close to basically capping now. It would be nice if we capped on the other one. But I don't know what's going on with that. Because if we don't, we're probably going to lose. I don't know why we haven't capped on that yet. Because they're so close to winning. Oh, great! Victory! I take pride in this right here. The healing done. Damage done, not so important. I'm not there to do that damage, but those heals make a difference. And that's the Lich King. I'm going to go back to Stormwind. It's getting kind of late, so I'm going to do one more dungeon, and then I'm going to call it a night. You know, it's interesting. Reflect upon your past victories and gain 150 honor. So because of all the things in which I've reminisced on in this video, is that in a sense of what Medal of Honor really is when it comes to this game? It's a reminder of being appreciative for this moment. And how do we pay homage to our lineage when it comes to acknowledging that if it wasn't for the sacrifices of previous generations, then none of this would be happening now for any of us. I'm going to show you my favorite mount. I figured that moment of silence right there gives you a moment to appreciate the soundtrack on behalf of Warcraft. Talk about going back and how it manages to be as if I was meant to come back as my favorite mount and the things in which I am setting out to do align with each other. As you see this eyeball here, it tells you what is available and what is not. There once was a time when this was not of an option. And Warcraft quickly realized over the years they had to come up with another system so then more people could find a way to play the game, even though others on their server either are not online or doing something else. And how not having a dungeon finder was hurting parts of the game itself because of what wasn't happening as a result. The nice part about being a healer is when you look at fractions, there are 3 DPS for a heal along with 1 tank. At least while queuing for a dungeon or a raid, the time isn't as bad as what it normally is. And I feel for DPS, which stands for damage per second, players, because sometimes that wait time for them to get into a dungeon can be a half hour to an hour. I remember that very well with my rogue, which we're going to go back and pay a visit to that area. Yeah, it's fascinating that they put all them all in here because this used to be called like rogue quarters. So I see the rogue trainer here, but
What can I do for you?
and that's the cool part about this is that in this room now, because they have all these classes here, so priest is a class, paladin is a class,
Like bless you.
rogue, monk, hunter, druid, shaman. There was a warrior, mage, warlock, warrior there, another priest.
Good day to you.
There used to be this ball that I had in one of my bags as a rogue, and for ha-has, what I would do sometimes is I would play like catch, and if a person had space in their bag, it would go in there, and it would just be so random that people just started playing, and it just became of the thing. but I know a lot of that was erased a few years ago when Warcraft decided to delete all the characters and start fresh. But as you see this, see class is rogue, and it just so happened that down here, this was also part of that. And before you were equipped with poisons, as you are now, there was a time where you had to go buy your poisons for a rogue and attach them to your weapons individually. That was good for the fact that rogues have, it's a yellow bar that would be here instead of this. This is mana. Mana helps allow all the spells to be without mana. I can't cast any spells, and I am literally useless as
This can't be right. The infinites changed the true timeline. This can't be happening. If Murazan exists, that means Nostormo. No,
great.
no. We can fix this. We have to get back to the time ways.
shall come to pass.
An infinite army. Slow us down a bit. Time to get speed.
Oh, this is frustrating. I don't want to keep doing this and okay. How far back does it take me? Oh man, I hope that's not the case. I hope there's like checkpoints or something. I apologize for this being all back and forth.
The time waits are ours.
Timeways are even twistier than before.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Well, that's because they pulled the entire group and they couldn't hold aggro, which it is what it is.
There's no way I can get us back to the past like this.
I mean, that's just kind of an example of like how you got to be cautious of who's tanking for you because not everybody's going in with the same mentality.
My time gets rewritten.
I mean, I don't blame people for leaving.
You're in for anything. The Horde and Alliance are fighting?
Far away.
This could be any point in time.
Gosh, this is something else.
What anomalies though? Let's head to the other side.
Yeah, it's better for us to get another tank. That guy was just. It's best for everybody in that situation. sometimes when I'm playing this game, I don't always like think about all the things that they're saying here, just because I'm just thinking when I'm here just to heal.
Need to save those doors. We only get one chance at this. Traveling so far into the past takes a lot of power. And I'm no athlete. Here we go.
The best way to address the past, since you're talking about it, is through addressing the things that continue to linger into your life today.
Alright. Have to make sure Murison doesn't. Oh, you know what I mean. We don't have time for this. Oh, where's that relic I picked up? Huh. Well, here does nothing.
Morazon shall rise.
Shoot. You handle this. The aspects are just ahead. Wait. Proto aspects.
We face enemies above and below. So with that,
I'd hardly say that.
Everyone, the infinites are here, and we must stop them. You have to trust me.
you are an odd little dragon, but there is something kind about you.
I cannot explain why, but my instincts tell me we should trust her.
Yes, I know. Now, we have to face the infinites together this time. They're the black clone dragons in the ravine.
This time,
It's a long story. Trust me. I know there's a dragon above us on that ledge, but we'll handle him after we defeat Deus.
very well, little dragon. My friends, with me, we face them together.
Morazon shall rise and lead us to a greater future. Can you not see?
We saw true. Not this Deus.
Infinites to me.
He's open the portal.
We are the infinite will prevail.
Second slow. Come, my infinites.
Close that portal.
We cannot. The future will not come. This will slow you down. You cannot stop me. How long have to hold on? Infinites to me.
Your nightmares shall not win.
Well, I appreciate everybody for being here. Whether you caught this live or you caught this after, just know more content is on the way, and I hope to provide as many positive outlooks as possible moving forward as I do so on a daily basis. Much praise to God for that, and may everyone have a blessed evening. I appreciate you for being here, and you have a wonderful evening.